Hello, my name is Ashoke Bose, and I am um, going to talk about the P2 pay system, the design. And this is a confidential or is a presentation just for the internal use uh, for ML Bose Memorial Health Foundation as well as AGR Health. Okay. Uh, So I wanted to describe the structure or the architecture of the platform. The root or the main domain would be www.p2pay.net, for example, and it will be controlled by super admin. Okay. Under that, there will be multiple um, organization or business unit. For example, one business unit could be AGR Health organization, and the structure will be agrhealth.p2pay.net. Okay, and the owner of this subdomain would be the administrator of the business unit, specific business unit, and under that there are several groups of users. One of the groups would be PWI, Patients Without Insurance, then PCP type user, who are the primary doctors at the office. And then also there is a group of people who are as a donor. Okay. Now, and there could be multiple role of an individual, but for the simplicity, we'll keep them separate for the time being. So this is the functions. So basically, a system that we look at in a computer system is basically a set of function and a set of users, right? That's the way it is. Here, for example, the super admin. This super admin will have the ability to create a business unit, edit a business unit, and delete a business unit. These are the three primary functions that will be given to the super admin. Of course, there might be some additional function as needed in the future. Now, when you talk about the business unit attributes, we have the name. So, for example, name could be AGR Health LLC, the physical location of this, and the domain operation, in which state they're operating, and the contact person. This would be the person's ID. Now, that ID would be, it could be that probably the domain ID, not domain, the person who is the administrator ID, but this would be an ID uh, within the system, right? Then also there'll be a license ID. License ID will be the ID that will be provided by MLB, the super admin. The super admin will give this license ID, and then the start date, expiration date, and what is the status of this, active or expired. If, for example, the license has not expired, then the B will be expired. Now, then the business unit admin, say, for example, the AGR Health is a business unit. They can perform the following function, right? For example, it can create a PWI, edit a PWI, and delete a PWI. And this is the classification, how the attributes will be the name. And then if you look at the Excel sheet that I have given before, that has some information about the attributes, the name, address, and date of birth, and so forth. And so we did not want to repeat the exactly same thing, but please check your note that I have provided in the past in the Excel format. and the member ID, and the start date, expiration date, and the status, if it is expired or not, active or not active. Same with the PCP, like a doctor, then you'll have, again, there should be an Excel sheet that we have provided, what are the attributes that we have. The NPI is one of the main thing of a doctor, unique ID, NPI, and by NPI we can, and then the member ID, the start date. And so this PCP is basically, we are trying to go for an individual, but also it could be an organization. But the main thing is that we are trying to get it as an individual. And then also the third group would be the donor, right? The donors have a name. Then also again, the donors have attributes such as how much they're going to do for each transaction, how much is the maximum, and if they have any criteria. So all these things should be part of the property of the donor, right? Uh, Now the PWI, the each individual, what kind of power or the attributes they have, the function. First of all, we are going to create them so they can create themselves, right? And that is the one of the major difference of patients in a doctor right now. Patients that cannot go and create an account in a hospital, because there's some kind of control there. Now we are going to remove that barrier in the sense that we'll allow a PWI who has got the access to the internet and so forth. They should be able to create. They can register, they can log in, they can deactivate account, they can search for PCP by name if they allow. If they say I'm allow other PCP to PCP, they can look for the doctor, right? PCP. They can pay membership fees. They can pay initial. They can view account status, right? The account active. They can donate to the platform, okay? And they can also search donors by geography if the donors like to, if the donors allow. Okay, one of the attributes of the donor will be private or public. We should put that. Uh, the PCP, the function would be similar in the sense that it can register, log in, deactivate. They can search for PCP by name, okay, pay membership fees online. You can, and they can pay by online, by telephone, or by check. Um, View account status, donate to the platform, search for donors by geography, that if the donors are public or private, and search for PWI by name. Okay, they can look for also who have, right? So this is the social aspects of this our system instead of a private. But again, this is where we are going to when they'll search if they have registered, right, those PWI from their own practice, then definitely they have already got a consent from that they can look for it. Okay. Now, I just want to point out that as we go further, then these things will be more and more refined, right? We can't just assume everything will go in the very first day. And that's the reason that this is a version 1.0. I want to make a point. Then the donor functions. Here, the donors can perform the following function: register, log in, deactivate, and search for PCP by name, pay membership fees, pay fee for selected PWI, like automatic deduct. Okay, if the PWI has allowed them to be allowed, as a public, then they can, a donor can find, which PWI can give it to you. Okay. Donate to the platform itself, search for donors by geography again, if the donors are public, and search for PWI by name, address, and phone number. Okay. Again, if this donor has got consent, then they should be able to do it. And we can get a general consent. Okay. So this is the the basic, the design, functional design, we call it in a system. Okay. And I would like you to think and find out, if it is any idea, any suggestion, any changes, and then we have to prioritize which are important in the level one, in the first version, so that we can do it. Okay. Thank you.